to FightHype.com. Airshow Sports here with Money Powell. 12-1,
yes,
7 knockouts.
Yeah.
Coming off a win against Willie Langston back in February.
Yeah.
Money, you're back in the gym. You're working out here in Columbus. Man, how's training going?
Man, training's going great. I've been in training camp for, well, I'll put it this way. I've been in the gym ever since my last fight. So about 3 months straight now. You know, I'm staying strong, staying hungry. You know, we had the pandemic and everything to kind of slow stuff up. But even though that happened, you know, I can't let that get in the way of my dream. So we're working in the shadows right now. You know, I know we're not in an area where boxing is huge or anything like that, but you know, sometimes great things come from humble beginnings, small beginnings. You know, that's exactly what we're whipping up here in Game Bred Boxing Club. You know, we way out here in the bushes. You know, it's different. I'm pretty sure than most places you've been, but you know, we get it done out here.
Most definitely, Money. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard your name before, man, and I've seen some highlights on the Instagram and stuff. And you know, in particular, there was one that kind of went viral. Obviously, it was I believe it was a counter right hand where you stepped back and landed and you hit the snot out of this one dude, dropped him. Just talk about that, man.
Man, that was a great experience. That was my first time fighting on national TV in America. Actually, I fought on TV in Paris. I fought in a few countries, but fighting here in America, man, that was a great experience, a great night. You know, we trained really hard for that fight. Honestly, we didn't know if we were going to be on TV or not, but either way, you know, we were just going to be prepared. And the guy I actually fought was a guy I actually grew up watching here in the Georgia amateur boxing system. Yeah, so it was crazy when they said this is who I was fighting, because, you know, as a kid, I watched the open fighters. I'm a JO watching the open fighters, and he was one of the guys, and, you know, ended up fighting him. But, man, you know.
Talk about how it went viral, kind of.
Yeah, honestly, man, I don't know how it went viral. I guess the shot, the way it landed, a lot of people liked it. You know, they still share it today. You know, it's a blessing. But it was just a counter right hand off his uppercut and stuff like that. We were working a lot on cleaning up and countering in that camp in particular. And shout out to Emmanuel Aleem. He was like my main sparring partner. He helped me get ready for that fight and pushed me real hard, man. So, you know, it was a great night, and you know, many more to come.
Most definitely, Money. And you know, the people who have been following boxing know that, you know, you've been in some of the top training camps in the world. You've sparred Charlo, you sparred Derevchenko, Danny Jacobs. Just talk about some of the elite guys you've been in there with and how that's helped progress yourself.
Oh man, that right there is a tremendous experience, being in there with guys like that, because that's experience money can't buy. You know, me being a younger guy, getting that kind of experience with world champions, top contenders, it's really helped groom me into being a more confident fighter, a stronger fighter, a smarter fighter, knowing that I can carry myself in any kind of situation. You know, it's something that you have to be able to get in there with those guys to be able to really understand what I mean, because, you know, sparring other guys is always great. Getting different looks is great, but getting world caliber sparring, that's out of this world, man. It's great.
In particular, man, can you walk us through and tell us how it was to be in the ring with Jamal Charlo?
Oh man, Jamal, he was actually one of the guys that pushed me, honestly, harder than anybody else. You know, it was just me and him out there for that Hugo and Santino fight, for real. I was just like the only guy, and I loved it like that, because Jamal, man, he really helped me strengthen my mind and my body to believe in yourself, you know, because he would tell me, he said, Money, you can do it, you just don't know it yet. You know. But I'm starting to understand what he means. You know, once the mind meets the physical, is what he was talking about, then that's when you can truly start turning up another level. And that's what Jamal was trying to get me to see. Being confident in your ability, being confident in your skills and your body. You know what I mean? Knowing that you put in the hard work, you can do it too. It's all about how you think. And that was the biggest thing being in there with Jamal, was mind, and him just helping me grow as a fighter and as a man. You know, it's a different mentality when you're a boy going to a man, and being in there in the ring with guys like that, man, it helps you grow into a man in the ring. You know what I mean? Because it's a difference going from the boy mentality to a man. So, you know, shout out to Jamal for really helping me out with that. Yeah.
Was Maul the toughest guy you've been in there with as far as sparring, or it's hard to say? He's
one of them, but you know, it's hard to say stuff like that, because that was a while back, and number two, everybody presents something different. You know what I mean? Like, Jamal has an amazing jab. He's really strong. But then I get in there with another guy that's like Brandon. Even though he's way bigger than me, Brandon's just physically brute force strength. You know what I mean? So all these guys present different things. Like when I was sparring with Jason Rosario, you know, Rosario, he wasn't as sharp as Charlo, but it was like he's kind of like real gritty, kind of, when I was sparring with him, you know what I mean? So all these guys bring different things. Sergey Derevchenko, he brought a European style, you know, he's a lot of little angles and sharp stuff like that. It wasn't the strongest guy, but he was bringing different things to the table that you can work on. So, you know, you learn all these different things, like sparring with Danny Jacobs, like when I sparred with Rosario, even Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison was doing sharp little moves that we still use today. Like when I sparred with Jamal, some things that he taught me, I still use today, and we always go back to, okay, remember we did this with him, remember we did this with him. And then, like I said, when you get in that kind of work, you put everything together. Even, you know, some of the guys that may not be up there yet, a lot of the contenders and a lot of the up-and-coming prospects too, they all bring something different to the table. But focusing just on those top elite level guys, yeah, I learned a lot from them.
Definitely, man. And I just want to touch, because I saw on your record you did have a tough loss to Vaughn Alexander, man. Just reflect on that. You know, how do you feel like that has made you now today, and what did you learn from that loss?
Man, honestly, there was a close fight, you know what I mean? I thought I won, but you know, God does everything for a reason, so there's no need for me to sit there and dwell on something that was like 2 years ago and being sad about it. But back to what you're saying, what I learned from it, man, was really to just make wins more decisive. Like, you gotta try to make wins decisive, because you never know what a judge may like. Judges are people too. Some judges like aggressive individuals, some judges like boxers, some judges like counterpunchers, you know what I mean? So it's all about making the win decisive and clear, and honestly, you want to get them out of there as often as possible, just so you don't have to risk going to the scorecards. But that win right there got me hungrier, you know, it made me just get smarter. Like I said, I'm still young, but I'm young today, gonna be old tomorrow. So I'm investing in the time I got right now to be a better fighter tomorrow, the next day, and the next day after that. Because I you know, boxing is a short career. I'm 23 now, but tomorrow I'll be 30. So I got to make sure I invest in every single day, you know, every day.
Most definitely. Last question on yourself.
Yeah.
If somebody, you had to describe yourself and your style and your characteristics as a fighter to somebody that's never seen you fight, how would you describe yourself? What are your strengths?
I honestly think my best strength may be my mind. I'm good at adjusting. I'm like a boxer puncher. You know what I mean? I set my shots up from boxing. I got good power, but I box, and start getting my punches together. And then when I see that I'm starting to touch the guy, then that's when I start turning up, being more aggressive, letting my hands go and stuff like that. So it's a boxer puncher style. I'm not just a boxer because I have power, and I'm not just a power puncher because I got boxing ability at the same time. You know, that's where the amateur pedigree and stuff really helped me out. So definitely boxing to set my shot ups, and then once I start analyzing to see what I'm working with in terms of what my opponent is presenting, and that's when we start getting the engine going right there. Then after that, you know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Yeah.